No, don't you dare, PlayStation. This better be some kind of big misunderstanding. NFTs are obviously the bane of gaming for the majority of the gaming community. That's how it's perceived because NFTs so far haven't presented anything of value for the industry. If anything, they've only presented yet another exploitative opportunity for game companies to take advantage of for lucrative corporate ventures. And there's been a little concern surrounding PlayStation potentially looking into NFTs as a potential avenue. So it all began back in July of 2022 when PlayStation introduced their PlayStation Stars loyalty program. It is summarized here by news outlet PlayStation Lifestyle in a headline that reads, "Free to join PlayStation Stars loyalty program, announced and detailed." And that's pretty self-explanatory. It gives users rewards for completing a variety of campaigns and activities. As for what a campaign entails, well, examples provided include playing any game for a monthly check-in reward, or winning tournaments, earning specific trophies, or being the first player to earn a platinum in their local time zone. And as for what you can do with these loyalty points, it can be redeemed for PlayStation Network Wallet funds and select PlayStation Store products. And then alongside that, if you have PlayStation Plus and choose to sign up to PlayStation Stars, then purchases will automatically earn points for this loyalty program. Now, this last bit is where some concerns were initially raised when it was brought up that you can earn rewards called digital collectibles, which are digital representations of things that PlayStation fans enjoy, including figurines of beloved and iconic characters from games and other forms of entertainment, as well as cherished devices that tap into Sony's history of innovation. A lot of people looked at this and thought, oh no, this kind of sounds a bit like NFTs. Is this NFTs? Fortunately, specifically for this case, it was immediately clarified that PlayStation Stars digital collectibles are not, in fact, NFTs. The direct quote was provided by Washington Post when they spoke to PlayStation's Vice President of Network Advertising, Grace Chen, who had this to say when asked about whether NFTs are involved in this aspect of PlayStation's online infrastructure and subscription model at all. It was said it's definitely not NFTs, definitely not. You can't trade them or sell them. It is not leveraging any blockchain technologies, and definitely not NFTs. So that came as a big sigh of relief. People thought, okay, this was just a misunderstanding. PlayStation is not intending to tap into NFTs in any way. That is until this survey from EVO. You may recall that PlayStation purchased EVO not long ago, so anything that goes through them is a PlayStation thing. And this Twitter user, Snorlax Owns, tweeted the following, noting how there was a survey where PlayStation/EVO seemed to be gauging audience interest in NFTs. Hey, a special PlayStation quest at EVO is asking players about what gaming NFTs they want to see from PlayStation. And here's a survey in question. What do you collect most? Which of the following NFT directly mentioned / digital collectibles would you most be interested in purchasing? And options include EVO branded, favorite music artists, favorite esports players and teams, PlayStation items, and finally, favorite game characters. Immediately, this gained a decent amount of traction with people wondering, where's the NFTs are fucking garbage option? That's the thing about this survey. It doesn't present the option of, I don't want to partake in NFTs, or I don't like NFTs and what they represent. I wouldn't get any of this stuff. So this is a survey that's kind of rigged, if you ask me. Now, Snorlax Owns here talks about a quest at EVO. Essentially, it's activities you can partake in to win free gifts like a free t-shirt, as detailed here by news outlet PlayStation Lifestyle via the following article, whose headline reads, "Does this EVO survey mean Sony is really considering PlayStation NFTs?" Scrolling down, you'll find the details. A survey at EVO 2022 was given as part of a quest to win a free t-shirt, and part of that quest involved partaking in this survey that doesn't give you an option to opt out of responding to this NFT questionnaire. Notably, there's no ability to decline to answer here. To proceed further, you must choose one of the 5 possible answers, with, again, no ability to express your disapproval of NFTs. So if you want to win this free t-shirt, you have to answer dishonestly and pretend as if you'd get any of these things in the form of NFT/digital collectibles. So just, again, a rigged survey. But a poor survey aside, where the concerns really lie is the fact that PlayStation/EVO is asking at all about NFTs. That only shows that on some corporate level, there is interest to potentially pursue NFTs sometime down the line. Gauging their options and trying to gauge their audience and community sentiment surrounding NFTs which means there's interest surrounding what is an overall despised, overwhelmingly despised aspect that is trying to seep its way into gaming to normalize itself and turn art into investment opportunities and pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes, and to exploit NFTs as yet an additional form of monetization avenue, as if there aren't plenty of micro transactions, elements, and loot boxes and gambling and exorbitantly priced items and features that are walled off if you don't pay up, that have already ruined game design and gameplay loops and progression pacing, among other things. So far, game companies haven't been able to present a single advantage that NFTs provide, and anytime they say, oh, NFTs will enable this, the usual retort is, well, you can already do that without NFTs. The reason you want to implement NFTs is to add the investment opportunity aspect, one that's speculative and financially dangerous and can rise and then collapse at any given point in time, just as NFTs and crypto as a whole has crashed in recent months, and plenty of people have lost out on a whole lot of money believing that NFTs and crypto are the future off of the hype train that these companies and these crypto and NFT bros have just enabled. Now, there is one industry insider who potentially provided the possibility that maybe this was all a mistake or a misunderstanding. This is Daniel Ahmad, who tweeted when all of this came to light, this isn't related to PlayStation Stars in this case, specifically the loyalty program. Digital collectibles is just a term that is used interchangeably with NFTs. Nibel, who's also big in terms of reporting on games industry news, responded with, so someone effed up then? Daniel Ahmad responded with, yup. And then, all right, thanks, but I'll wait for clarification by PlayStation/EVO. Daniel Ahmad responded with, I imagine PlayStation will clarify it fairly soon given how much traction this got, LOL. But here's the thing, we haven't heard from PlayStation or EVO. They haven't directly responded to claims that they're starting to look into NFTs as a potential avenue that they might pursue either in the near or distant future, in the short, medium to long term. While they have specifically confirmed that PlayStation Stars digital collectibles are definitely not NFTs, they haven't responded to the term NFT showing up in this survey. They haven't clarified whether these two terms are used interchangeably, but NFT specifically won't be a thing that they'll be pursuing, and that this was some kind of misunderstanding or error, or whether they did in fact mean NFTs as well as the PlayStation Stars digital collectibles, and whether it is an avenue that they're pursuing. And I feel like if PlayStation was intent on making this clarification and really making it clear that they're not pursuing NFTs, then they would have done so. All they've confirmed is that PlayStation Stars in particular won't feature NFTs, not that the company as a whole isn't looking into them on some level. So that within itself is plenty disconcerting. PlayStation, even with all their flaws, is among the more compelling game publishers. They release some of the most compelling titles, especially ones that are single player and story driven and high budget, with just tons of love and care put into them by the developers, who are given carte blanche for the most part to kind of really make the game that they're passionate about making. So one of the last companies I want to see head down this NFT path is Sony and PlayStation. But, unfortunately, this is an aspect that plenty of gaming companies are looking into, from Square Enix, who are doubling, tripling down on that stuff. Konami, of course, they're already delving into pachinkos. Why wouldn't they delve into NFTs? Ubisoft was among the first to jump on this NFT bandwagon, and that hasn't been doing particularly well for them. Actors like Seth Green had his NFT stolen, and with that, the rights to that NFT that would have allowed him to make the show surrounding the NFT, the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, that he had to get back by essentially paying an extortion fee of like $300,000. And then you've got plenty of individual games or studios who have either made the attempt to dip their toes into NFTs and then the backlash got so bad that they backed out, or they decided to just stick with it and people are none too pleased with them. But on a brighter note, there are plenty of major companies who have made their stands on NFTs, their stance against NFTs quite clear, like when Gabe Newell banned NFTs from Steam due to sketchy behavior and out-of-control fraud. Steam is by far the largest PC gaming platform, so Gabe Newell making that stance I think is a huge deal. Xbox's chief himself, the based Phil Spencer, came out and called NFTs exploitative in their current stage, and that Xbox has no plans to really implement them on a mass level or allow for the implementation. And a sub-story to that is Minecraft. The folks at Mojang coming out with this blog post where they confirmed that they have no plans for NFT implementation, and they cracked down on players who are exploiting Minecraft as a means to sell NFTs, setting up new guidelines or clarifying guidelines saying that NFTs is just not in the spirit of Minecraft, which is creation without exclusion. Just a great stance all around. And Minecraft being basically the biggest game in the world, that's a huge deal. So the fact that we are seeing some truly major players in the games industry pushing back against this stuff and stigmatizing NFTs in their current state further is encouraging. And hopefully PlayStation will also take the hint, because if PlayStation starts delving into NFTs, that's a whole lot of negative PR that they don't want to have. Their main competition, Xbox, has made a very clear stance when it comes to NFTs and their current implementation and how they're not currently welcome. PlayStation, I feel like, should do the same. Put out maybe some kind of similar statement, express what their stance is on NFTs, though the fact that they're maybe being quiet means that on some level they are on the opposite side of this spectrum, where they believe that there is some potential in NFTs and maybe one day they're gonna pursue that. Though it should be noted that this survey isn't confirmation of anything. Maybe they're just surveying for just research reasons. Maybe this doesn't necessarily mean that PlayStation is eager to implement NFTs, but why even ask if you're not interested in them at all, is my question. Like, if I were one day to poll you guys on your interest on NFTs without confirming one way or another whether I'm intending to pursue or promote NFTs in some capacity, you'd be pretty suspicious that, wait a minute, is Young trying to, So that's the vibe I'm getting from this, even if this isn't direct confirmation of anything. And, sometimes silence speaks louder than words. The fact that PlayStation isn't getting ahead of this particular story kind of says something, in my opinion. But I honestly just hope that I'm wrong about all of this, and that in the coming few years, ultimately this will end up being nothing. There's a story that will fizzle away, and PlayStation will stay as far away from NFTs as possible. And hopefully the games industry as a whole can be steered away from NFTs through the gaming community being actively vocal against NFTs or attempts at NFT implementations, and through major games industry players like Xbox and Steam and Minecraft expressing their stance against this kind of stuff. Hopefully more will join in providing an official statement saying this has no place here, because in their current state, NFTs really don't have a place in gaming. All NFTs bring to the table is the ability to monetize digital assets through receipts that point to those assets, but the receipt just is so meaningless. It's as useless as a receipt from a company claiming that through this receipt you have proof that you own a piece of the moon, except, when those companies go defunct, all you're left with is a receipt to nothing, because it's just a receipt. You don't actually own the thing. But anyway, long story short, PlayStation, don't you dare. Don't do it. Don't walk down this path. Or at the very least, that's one man's take. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on that EVO survey and its mention of NFTs. Do you think it's indicative of Sony and PlayStation being interested in pursuing NFTs? Or do you think it's just something they threw out there for research purposes? Or do you think what Daniel Ahmad said about NFT digital collectibles being used interchangeably and that it doesn't mean what you think it means? Do you think that holds true and that we're just looking too much into this? Share your thoughts below, and to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.